If you're married to an ICE agent and you're watching this, because I know that some of you are watching from the shadows and you're scared for your little hubby because it's getting ugly out there, good. I hope you're scared, and I hope that you're texting him every 2 minutes to make sure that he's okay. And when he doesn't respond because he's too busy tearing families apart, I hope you feel it in your soul. But just know this, that fear you feel as the wife of a bootlicker is not even 1/5 of the fear that all of these innocent people are living with right now. And they didn't choose that life. That life of fear, these innocent people didn't choose that life. It was handed to them by a system that is broken. But you know who chose that life? Your husband. Some people said I sounded very evil simply because I said, I hope that ICE agent spouses are scared. So let's talk about that. First of all, I don't care what people think or say about me. But all jokes aside, I never said that I hope that they get hurt. I said, I hope they feel scared. The same way ICE has made millions of families scared, hiding in their own homes, not being able to drop off their children at school, not living a normal life. So if that makes you uncomfortable, good. That feeling you're having is called accountability. And let's be real, if your hands are clean, why are you flinching? Maybe the mirror is getting too clear. You voted for people who destroy families. You celebrate deportations. You call it law and order when it's actually trauma on purpose. But the second you feel 1/5 of the fear that these families fear, it's evil. Nah, that's called privilege. So no, I'm not wishing any harm. I'm just simply reflecting reality. And if that reflection is a little too honest for you, maybe the problem isn't me. It's what you're defending. But if I hurt your feelings, I really don't care, do you?
You look like your wife gives unenthusiastic hand jobs.
Got him!
What is up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So, what do you think about this ICE agents and their wives? Whereby, what is happening at the moment in terms of these ICE agents busy kidnapping all these illegal immigrants and also Americans as a whole. So yes, their wives, how did they feel about, like in terms of them abducting people, like tearing up families, as they just mentioned it right now? Because I hear that Latino people are talking out here. They are not happy about what is happening in terms of this ICE situation. But yeah, nevertheless, guys, my thoughts of this is that I hope and pray that when they get deported, they'll be able to come back in the proper route, be legal, because identity theft doesn't work. But let's continue with these videos to hear what people who had a relationship with ICE agents feel. So let's continue with these videos.
Got him!
Okay, so 2013 into 2014, I dated a guy that worked for ICE on and off. He basically, like, when we first met, definitely did the whole love bombing thing, wanted to make things official between us, like after the second date. And in my head, I was going through a divorce at the time. I was in a vulnerable spot. I made stupid decisions, a lot of freaking stupid decisions. And for whatever reason, I was really infatuated with this guy. I look back at it now and I'm like, what the f*** am I thinking? Anyways, he told me he worked for ICE. I didn't know what the hell ICE was at the time. But I know he worked at a detention center, and none of it, I don't know, it just seemed like a job, because he would always be texting me from work saying how bored he was and there wasn't really anything to do. So it just didn't really seem like an important job, just kind of a job. But he definitely was a narcissist, textbook narcissist. Not just saying that, because I know that word gets, tossed around quite a bit. But this man just constantly gaslighting. He knew he had the control in the relationship, and he took full advantage of that. Constantly, belittling, gaslighting. manipulating, accusing me of cheating and all this stuff when little did I know that he was making up that he was going on work trips but to do some, undercover. But no, he was actually meeting girls and doing whatever and then, magically when he would get back from these trips, then I would get, ignored and broken up with. We had a vacation planned together. 2 weeks before the vacation, he was like, you know what? I don't want to go. I'm like, okay, cool. So of course I'm like planning, trying to figure out, am I going myself? Am I going to just bring a friend? Whatever. Then he says, oh, actually I do want to go. We'll just go as friends. Obviously we go on this vacation and he sure as hell wasn't treating me like a friend. And we come back and he introduces me to his mom and, says, oh, I'm sorry. I'm in this for the long haul. Like, I'm so sorry. I really want to make this up to you. Like, I think we could really work. Of course, I think it was like 2 weeks later. It's the same over and over and over again. I think the one day, like, we were making tacos or something and something with like warming up the shell. I wasn't doing it to his liking and he ignored me for a whole day. I had to sleep on the couch. He ignored me. And at this point I was just like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, this is just, I knew obviously in my head that this is what my life would be. It would be constant up, down, break up, this and that. Like, come on. So I had a key to his house. Like, I was there quite a bit and I would be there like even when he wasn't there, like he worked second shift or whatever. So I decided to do some snooping one day and I found his divorce papers because he was divorced. And I see for the reason, how they have, I think like 4 different reasons for divorce. Usually people, put irreconcilable. Am I saying that right? Irreconcilable? Irreconcilable? I don't know. Whatever differences. His ex-wife had filed the papers, cruel and inhumane treatment. Okay? That was him giving her cruel and inhumane treatment. And I mean, when I was like looking it up, that's not something that it's not just a back.
So guys, from what she's saying is that like most of the guys who are ICE agents, they are abusive. Like, they treat their partners like the way that they are, like in terms of when they have to hire them. Don't they do a background check to make sure that if this guy like is a woman beater or something like that? Because the way it sounds is that what she's saying is that this ICE agent, this guy would hit on women. That's what she's saying. But let's just continue with this video.
That you can check and they just take your word for it. You have to give sufficient evidence, whether it's verbal abuse or physical abuse. Now, this man never put his hands on me, but who knows what it would have escalated to. I don't know if he put his hands on her. I don't know if it was just, if it was verbal abuse, emotional. It's still not okay. Abuse is abuse. And cruel and inhumane treatment. Yeah. That's fucking, that freaked me out. I was just like, all right, now I am done with this man. And I told him, I was just like, never fucking contact me again. Like, I don't care if it's a month, a week, a year. I don't want to ever hear from you again. And of course he tried a few times throughout the years. Obviously have not talked to this man. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he still works for ICE. I'm assuming he does. But this is all to show, like, this is the type of person that was working for ICE in 2013, 2014. They're hiring this man who clearly is abusive, gets off on power. And now they're increasing this budget to whatever it is, $160 billion for ICE. They're just going to be hiring anyone and everyone off the fucking street. Clearly, back then, when he was hired, I don't know, they must not have done that great of a background check or just didn't care. I can only imagine the type of people that they are hiring, especially with all these new, hiring these new agents, and they're going to be expanding and blah, blah, blah. I can only fucking imagine. It is scary. And now I'm not going to sit there and say every ICE agent's bad but I guarantee you many of them in that field are scumbags.
Okay, guys, so there you go. ICE agents really scumbag, as this woman says, because what she's saying is that she has a major allegation, but it's funny when she says that the guy was abusive, but to her, the guy was not abusive. The guy would gaslight her, but does it justify that ICE agents are really, really that abusive? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a question to which I can hear from you guys on the comment down below. Or how do you feel about this thing of ICE agents being abusive in the relationship? Maybe it's what they get it from the film. But despite that, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and let's meet up to the next video, and peace out.